Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. I've got an unboxing video for you today, and this is kind of a special one. This one comes all the way from the Netherlands. You can see the international paperwork there on the box, fragile stamp. So this took about 6 weeks to get here. It has not been a quick transport, but I don't necessarily, that's not the merchant's fault. That's just the process of getting from the Netherlands to the United States. So this is kind of an interesting one because this should be one of the acid bees from Error Instruments. And Error Instruments is a company that I've been following for quite a while. They've got an Etsy store. And one of the reasons I liked it is because he makes, the creator, he makes all these like weird kind of electronic instruments. And they're the kind of things, you know, some of them kind of remind me of some of the things I make. Like I made an electric whisk a while back. And I made like, you know, a drone box with some video game type oscillators in it a while ago. That really reminds me of the kind of stuff that he makes, but he's much better at it than I. Like he comes up with a lot more complex circuits. And so this, as I mentioned, should have the acid bee in it. And let's go ahead and get it open. And while I'm opening this, I will tell you that economic stimulus check that came earlier this year, well, when we got that, my wife and I just agreed that we would each, you know, spend like a couple $100 on ourselves, and then we would take the rest and use it to fix some things that were wrong with the house that needed to be fixed. And so that's what we did with it. So I chose to use my part, my spending money on this. So it's one of those things where I've always, like I said, liked their products and wanted to try it, but I'm always like, you know, what have you. So getting the box open, there's free power. Well, that was nice of him. It says free power. So I'm assuming there's a power converter in there, or a power AC adapter. And then this is obviously the acid bee. I'll set that to the side. I think the rest of this is just packing material. It appears to be, so that's it for the box. I'll set that down. Let's open the free power here. That's funny that he did that. Okay, so the good news is that we have a power adapter. The bad news is that's not a US plug. Does it? No, that's made in there. Okay, so I'll have to either get an adapter or use something else. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual instrument here. So this is called the acid bee, like I said, and he describes this, like some of his instruments don't really have like an obvious thing that they do. So he describes this as a baseline generator. Oh, that's cool. It's got a little, it's in a little like kind of sheer box here. Oh, cool. Look at that. So, let me get the box open here. It comes with a little instructions here, and I don't know if you can see it, there's a 9-volt adapter, so even if it won't plug into the wall, I can test it today using the 9-volt adapter, so that's cool. And then I can get an adapter to convert that. Here it is. Here is the acid bee. You can see the bee there. You can see there are 3 knobs, and then there are a few buttons. Up here across the top, we've got our power jack, we've got our power button, we've got 2 different CV inputs, and we've got our audio out. All of those are 1/8 inch. Looks like we've got some etching down here. It says acid bee. I'm not sure how well you can see that with the reflections of the sun and such, but it says acid bee on both sides, and then the little honeycomb kind of patterns here. We've got some rubber feet on the bottom. This is definitely metal, very well built. Super cool. It's got a LDR right here that also communicates with the circuit. Very cool. So far, just from aesthetics, I'm very impressed. It looks super cool. It looks nice. It's very compact, as you can see the size compared to my hand. It's very compact. So let's go ahead and get this thing powered up and do a sound demo. Okay, so here we are. And to start, I did not see it at the time, but there was a Euro to US adapter in the box, which is buried under the packing material. So I am using the plug right now. I also have the battery here if you want to use that. That is also included, and I tested it to make sure it works. It does work. But let's go ahead and power this on. So on-off switch right here. We push that. Oh, and we can hear something happening right away. So you see this kind of honeycomb back and forth pattern. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up real well, but there is some massive bass right there. It's like whoom, whoom. But so let me tweak these knobs a little. And if you cover the, there we go. Ooh, that's cool. If you cover the LDR, you should get different tones. Let's see. More clicky there. A little more buzzy. So you can see already some cool sounds in this little thing. Oh man, that's just, I don't know if that thunderous bass is going to come through on the camera, but it is. Man, that sounds cool. Anyway, so a lot of cool things here, but let's see what happens now if I start adding to the pattern. So watch this. Now we start to hear it sound a little more beat-oriented. Let's add something else. Oh man, that bass. Some really cool kind of filter sweep effects there. Let's add something else. Whoa. Okay, so we can get some pretty intense sounds out of this little thing. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so this here is a CV cable, and I've got this, I know it's out of the frame, but over here is my modular synthesizer, and so this is coming from an LFO on the modular. LFO is a low frequency oscillator. And so if you're not familiar with CV, what CV is like a low frequency oscillator is going to create like a sine wave, right? Like woo, woo, woo. And so it's just going to go really slow. So you're going to have positive voltage and then negative voltage and then positive voltage. And what CV is designed to do is, like, if I just fire this up here real quick, and if I sit here and move this knob, well, this is probably a bad example. Hold on. Okay. If I move this knob, I get different timbres as I move it, right? So I could sit here and do this, but what CV is a way to do that automated. So you should be able to take a CV jack or CV source and put it into this jack here, and it should basically turn the knob for you. Let's see. So there we go, we hear that knob turning. So here's with no CV. So you can definitely hear that as that LFO goes to the high voltage, you can hear it kind of turn that knob. So there we can kind of hear it just sort of tweaking this knob. So let me try adding a second LFO and let's try both of them. Let's try tweaking both of them at the same time. So there you can hear we've got two different LFOs coming in there and they're running at different rates. So they're kind of turning the knobs at different rates. One's turning a little faster than the other. It's kind of giving a cool effect. And then if I'm doing that, I can concentrate on this. And so hopefully the camera is capturing that, but with this incoming CV, you see a red sort of light underneath the surface by each knob that is corresponding to the CV. So you can see this LFO is running a lot slower than this one. So it kind of shows you the speed at which it should be adjusting that. That's kind of cool. So that is definitely a cool little bonus that it's got there. So definitely you can get some cool sounds out of this little thing. I need to play with it some more and really get to know it, but you can already tell it's got some definite punch in that little package. Okay, so that was the unboxing and demo of the Acid Bee from Air Instruments. Again, my first thing from Air Instruments, it's pretty darn cool. You gotta admit, that's pretty darn cool. So these things, you can get them from their Etsy store or from their website, airinstruments.com. .com or .co. I'll put it on the bottom. I don't remember for sure. But anyway, you can get them from Air Instruments. These are 139 euros, which that's about $165. So not an inexpensive instrument in the scheme of things, but also, you know, when you compare it to a lot of synthesizers and things that are on the market, it's actually fairly affordable. So kind of a neat little thing if you're looking to produce those bass lines or those fun little things. You know, this is something that you could, you know, just kind of take in your corner and sit there and get lost in, you know, just kind of play with it for a while, or you could really use it in the studio as well. So kind of a neat thing. There you go. And if you like what I do on this channel, guys, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. This channel is all about musical miscellany, and I will see you guys in the next video.